Національний український інтерес має бути врахований.
President Volodymyr Zelenskiy said on Friday that Ukraine faced losing its dignity and freedom or the support of the United States over its 28-point peace plan. The U.S. plan endorses key Russian demands, and President Donald Trump told Fox News Radio that Ukraine should agree to it by Thursday.
Now is one of the most difficult moments in our history. Now the pressure on Ukraine is one of the most difficult. Now Ukraine may find itself facing a very difficult choice. Either the loss of dignity or the risk of losing a key partner. Either the difficult 28 points or an extremely difficult winter, the most difficult and further risks.
Two sources who spoke to Reuters on the condition of anonymity said the U.S. threatened to cut off intelligence sharing and weapons supplies for Ukraine if it does not accept the deal. A senior U.S. official later said it was not accurate to say the U.S. threatened to withhold intelligence. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Meanwhile, Zelensky spoke to European leaders who continue to back him strongly. Here's EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas.
We are supportive of any plan that brings about just and lasting peace. As for the peace plan we understand that President Zelensky has been presented with, we have always said that any peace plan to work, it has to be with Ukraine and with the Europeans on board.
Three sources later told Reuters that Ukraine was working on a counter-proposal to the 28-point plan with Britain, France, and Germany. Yaroslava Barbieri, a research fellow with the Ukraine Forum at Chatham House, called the current proposal a non-starter.
First of all, the idea that Ukraine would have to concede territory that Russia currently doesn't hold, particularly in the Donetsk region, is unacceptable, is really a non-starter. And it's important to remind audiences of the fact that Russia has not been able to occupy the entirety of the Donbass region, losing thousands of people for over 10 years now.
As part of the arrangement, sanctions against Russia would be gradually lifted. Moscow would be invited back into the G8 group of industrialized countries, and frozen Russian assets would be pooled in an investment fund, with the United States being given some of the profits. Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed cautious optimism about the U.S. plan.
We have this text. We received it through existing channels of communication with the U.S. administration. I believe it can be used as the basis of a final peaceful settlement, but it has not been discussed with us in detail. And I can guess why. The reason is the same. The U.S. administration has so far failed to secure Ukraine's consent. Ukraine is against it.
The acceleration in U.S. diplomacy comes at a time when Ukrainian troops are on the back foot on the battlefield, and Ukraine has acknowledged Russia is advancing.